Apologies for my bad voice. I'm sorry, it must be sounding very aghast. I would thank Rahul sir because he made a platform for my presentation. The reason, all the more important reason, is because we cannot conduct RCTs. So we need to have registries in which data will be entered, hopefully unbiased, because the registries will be run by physicians because we will be taking data. So that is very important, that why should we have a national registry, not only for any of specific to drug elution, but also for all patients who are having any issues in peripheral vascular disease. The main problem what we face when we start a registry is, even we do a robust planning, but taking that registry to the end, what is a bigger challenge for us. Planning is very proper. The mishaps happen during the execution, and bigger mishaps happen during interpreting what the information from that registry is. So I would start off by talking on what actually the word registry, it is a Latin word which was initially used in the royal regal areas, in which it used to say that whatever a person has, it has to be listed, recorded, and it goes back to the king. Now, if we use it for R, is whatever is happening, the king is the patient. So whatever information is happening, it should be for the benefit of the patient. So talking about the drug elution registry, it would be a real world practice to know whatever we are using is safe, has effectiveness, and at the same time, if there are some adverse events which are happening when we are using these devices, it is easily picked up. So why do we need this kind of national registry? Is because in this 1.5 day we have seen how the treatment for these vessels have evolved. Initially we were doing POBA, then we were doing stent, then we were putting DCBs, DABs. Now morning Venkat sir also showed scaffold. So it is an technology which is in evolution. So we need to know whatever is happening or whatever is coming up with the trials which are being done in the process of evolution. Is it safe for the patients? At the end of the day, we are physicians, and for us patient safety should be the prime importance. And if we have a registry, it will be an unbiased data which is collected from the patients by the researchers or clinician, that will help us to know the long-term outcomes related to that whatever drug eluting system is used. Especially, like, what I feel is we are relying on all the trials or whatever has been done in European population. So we don't have data. Maybe our pattern of disease is definitely different from what we see in European patients. So if we have our own registry, we can come out with our own guidelines, and we can say that, oh, this is what evidence says from our registry, so we will follow these guidelines. So once we have this, we will have improved treatment. It obviously, there will be cost effectiveness, knowledge sharing, and as we all know, now Google Doctor, all our patients are reading what is available. So if we have a registry, we will have our guidelines, and we can effectively show patients, okay, if you use this for this kind of lesion, this is the success rate, this is the failure rate. So we should have a registry which will say in black and white, this is what will happen, and we don't know whether you will land in 70% success rate or 30% failure rate. And at the end, we can also have a global standard so that we can also show the healthcare practices at international level. So this is the reason why we need it. So how are we going to plan it? So first is, we should know what is the main purpose of doing the registry. The main purpose is to do patient safety and treatment efficacy. This second part is very important. We need to know who all should get involved or engaged in this: healthcare providers, regulatory agencies, patient advocacy groups, and to some extent pharmaco companies also. Because to run a registry, there is lot of funding which is required, and as physicians, we might not be able to do it on our own. So it is always better to get other pharmacological companies also involved. Now, data point and data standards. We should come to a consensus what data should be included in the registry, the kind of technology, the user access, and obviously legal and ethical consents, informed consent from the patient. We don't have HIPAA, which is very active in US, but at some point of time, we will also have to know the patient privacy regulations. And to implement, we can start doing a pilot project, see how it is there to test the registry, train all the users so that there is smooth operation, monitor and evaluate whatever the effectiveness and data quality is. After the data is collected, analyze it and report it so that it can come out as a publication and as a guideline at national level. Okay, when we are using DCBs or DCS, what is our success rates, and explore opportunities for collaborating with other healthcare organizations. Now, these are very few challenges which came to my mind. Is the stakeholder engagement. Who will enter the data? I have a patient. I feel the patient needs a DCS, DCB, but in my busy schedule, I might not be able to enter that data. So that is why we will have to have an organization with whom we can collaborate, and that person would be assigned, okay, it will be a centralized system. Whoever is using that kind of DCB will enter it. Now, at the same time, we have to make sure that it is user friendly. If we give 20-30 questions, I'm sure most of us will not be able to enter it, or it won't be very interesting. So it should be something which is not very exhaustive and easily manageable. Patient confidentiality must be the prime importance, and at times there is inconsistent funding and policy support because of a lack of support from government or institutional bodies. So these are the challenges which we can have when we are planning for a national registry. So I wanted to travel from my home in Borivali to IMA Hall. So that's why I used Google Map, because so we need a road map. The first step of the roadmap is like-minded people like us who are thinking about using drug Elution should come together. Get all institutions which are doing this kind of work to get actively involved. Also get involvement of our national societies like VSI. There is a very good registry which is run by National Health Authority by Government of India. So we get them involved, make it a user-friendly digital data, and once there is data, then we can use AI to interpret that data and come out with guidelines. Thank you.